So here we are with some examples of portfolios from students who applied to study BA Honours Artist, Design and Maker with us here at Cardiff School of Art and Design. And it'll give you an idea of the kind of thing we look for in an incoming student's portfolio. This first example here shows a nice use of simple materials, cheap materials and available materials. Here we've got some paper that's been folded and formed into a three-dimensional form, and accompanying it is an interesting piece of mark making, simple piece of drawing that clearly relates to that inquiry into this form here, this 3D form. So a relationship between drawing and three-dimensional form is very interesting for us to see. We also have a nice juxtaposition of materials here, some recognisable banisters from interior staircase, brought together with a handmade wooden box, and slightly unusually a sort of surprising element, some sort of hair growing out of the top. So this shows a nice bit of creative thinking, a creative mind, and some unusual materials brought together in a kind of assemblage and a kind of sculptural outcome. Over here we have again, simple, easy materials to work with, but very nicely conceived and executed. Simply a pair of paper shoes, and something conceptually interesting also, what does a pair of paper shoes say? How useful are paper shoes in this portfolio? So that's there, and similarly we have a nice range of a nice use of materials, some pallet wood showing an interest in possibly recycling, upcycling, working into this piece of industrial found material with string and textile and thread, reappropriating something that you might not necessarily think about in a more aesthetic way. And then the students also documented that work very nicely, photographed it and shown it in this portfolio context very well. We also in this portfolio have an example of some life drawing, not an easy thing to do, a very important skill to work on still in the world of art and design, observational drawing, life drawing. It's great that we see foundation students who had a go at life drawing. They may not necessarily be the best, it may not be their favourite thing to do, but it's great to see people having a go, and we're very interested to see that. We also like to see sketchbooks. Sketchbooks are places to try ideas out, to get things wrong, to make a mess, to cross things out and start again, to show us who your influences are, show us what you're looking at, what's making you motivated, what's interesting for you, and they're a conversation starter as much as anything. So do bring your sketchbooks to an interview, or consider how you work in your sketchbooks when making your application.